subvert the presidency. They delegitimized the ballot in 2016. They delegitimized the idea that the ballot was safe and secure. Now, in 2020, when Donald Trump was accused of saying that the ballot was not secure and so on and much more, and then we had January the 6th, there was a committee of inquiry. It went on for months.
Why was a top cop silenced for linking riots to mass migration? Douglas Murray, they gaslight us daily. Watch before they bury this truth too.
Absolutely. Now let's go to the US. You wrote a fantastic piece for the New York Post on the Russian collusion hoax, the manufactured scandal the Democrats and the media pushed for around 4 years to undermine Trump's first term. You're arguing, Douglas, that there needs to be a reckoning of sorts. Those in the intelligence community, for example, who knowingly worked on promoting these lies, you argue should be exposed.
Absolutely. I mean, at the very least, there needs to be a commission of inquiry, a committee of inquiry in the House or elsewhere in Washington, looking into exactly what it was that happened before and during Donald Trump's first term as president. You remember, Rita, we had in America 4 years of very senior people in the intelligence world, in the political world, the Democratic Party, insisting that Vladimir Putin had stolen the election in 2016, that there was Russian collusion. They always said for 4 years, all these liberal, so-called liberal left-wing late-night talk show hosts like Rachel Maddow, all these people like Schiff, Adam Schiff, they went around saying, we've got the evidence and we've got the smoking gun and we're going to deliver it tomorrow. And if it's not tomorrow, it'll be the day after tomorrow or maybe a week Tuesday. And the evidence was never provided because there was none. And for 4 years, these people tried to subvert the presidency. They delegitimized the ballot in 2016. They delegitimized the idea that the ballot was safe and secure. Now, in 2020, when Donald Trump was accused of saying that the ballot was not secure and so on and much more, and then we had January the 6th, there was a committee of inquiry. It went on for months. Why is there no such committee like the January 6th committee about the 2016 to 2020 Russia hoax? This involved very senior people, and some of them will still be there. And I think it is absolutely crucial that this wound should be closed by finding out what went on, who it was who pushed it, and why it is they got away with it.
I think there has to be not just complete transparency now, but some consequences just to restore trust in the whole process, and also to prevent this from happening again. There's got to be some disincentive other than being...
This interview is just another example of the left's blatant disregard for truth and accountability. They'll do anything to maintain their power, even if it means manufacturing scandals and silencing dissent. Take this whole Russia hoax, for instance. For years, they pushed this narrative that Trump colluded with Russia, even though there was no evidence to support it. They knew it was a lie, but they didn't care. They were so desperate to get rid of Trump that they were willing to destroy our democracy in the process. And now they are trying to do the same thing with this Mamdani fellow. This guy is a radical socialist who has a history of promoting violence and hatred. And Elizabeth Warren, who's supposed to be a moderate Democrat, is cozying up to him like he's some kind of hero. It's sickening. The left has completely lost its mind. They've been so busy demonizing their opponents that they've forgotten what it means to be a decent human being. This whole situation with the migrant hotels is another perfect example. They're flooding our communities with illegal immigrants, and they don't care about the consequences. They're putting our citizens at risk, and they're destroying our social fabric. And when people dare to speak out against it, they're labeled as racist and xenophobic. It's a disgusting tactic, but it's effective. They've managed to silence most of the opposition, and they're getting away with it. But the truth is, the people are starting to wake up. They're seeing through the left's lies and manipulations. They're realizing that the left's agenda is not in their best interests. And they're starting to fight back. We're seeing this in the rise of populist movements around the world. People are tired of being told what to think and how to live. They want a government that represents their interests, not the interests of the elite. The left's strategy is to divide and conquer. They want to pit different groups against each other so that they can maintain their power. They want to create a society where everyone is dependent on the government, where individual liberty is sacrificed for the sake of social justice. But the people are not going to stand for it anymore. We need to stand up for our values, for our freedom, and for our way of life. We need to expose the left's lies and hold them accountable for their actions. We need to fight for a future where truth and justice prevail. This isn't just about politics. It's about our very way of life. The left's ideology is a direct threat to everything that we hold dear. We need to stop them before it's too late. Take a look at what's happening in Europe. The left is pushing for open borders, mass immigration, and the erosion of national identity. They're trying to turn Europe into a multicultural utopia, but it's a disaster waiting to happen. The rise of Islamophobia and anti-Semitism is a direct result of the left's policies. They've created a climate of fear and resentment, and it's only going to get worse. We need to learn from Europe's mistakes. We need to stand up for our own values and protect our own way of life. We need to resist the left's agenda at every turn. The future of our country depends on it.